and that will be sent out tomorrow morning. So if you want to go back and reference anything that's covered, by all means, feel free to do so. You'll get that via email, so keep an eye out for that tomorrow morning. Also attached to that email is going to be a questionnaire. We certainly value your opinion as students and alumni here at WGU, and they're constantly trying to seek your feedback and see how we can put opportunities in front of you all that you're interested in. So take the time, fill that out. It should take you no more than 2 minutes to do that. The chat is open as people have started to share where they are calling in from. That's how questions are going to be coming in. So if you do have questions, feel free to post those into the chat. We will have a designated Q&A. So if you do want to wait until that Q&A, by all means, you can do that. This session is part of Career Quest. So if this is your first session that you've attended for Career Quest, or maybe you've attended a few others, but it's a great opportunity to gain insight. This session particular to our master's degree program here at WGU for our cybersecurity and information assurance. There's other opportunities where employers are coming in, actively recruiting our students and alumni here from WGU. So if you've seen some of those and attended, hopefully they've gone well. You've gotten a ton of information of them. We will have Career Quest the rest of this week and into next week. So I will share the link for Career Quest if you want to check out any of the other sessions that we will be running. And then you can continue to check that page for future events that we end up hosting. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to stop talking because you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to learn more about our cybersecurity program, our master's degree program. So I will pass it over to Jason. Jason, the floor is yours.
All right, well, thank you very much, RJ. Just want to double check my mic. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Okay, let's do this. So welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to WGU. Thanks for being part of this discussion today. As we're going through it, hopefully we can have a good discussion. You can get lots of great information about our program and specifically the Masters in Cybersecurity and Information Assurance. And hopefully we can have a little bit of fun here too. So if you can, I would invite you to write into the chat which program you're currently in or how you found this particular career quest, and we'll kind of take that as a basis for information. And so just to keep me honest, hey, this is the blurb for Career Quest. You don't really have to read it, but I just want to make sure you're in the right place. This is what I'm going to be talking about. So this is to, again, keep me honest on where we're going to go here. And this is going to be pretty fast, right? We want to just cover our cybersecurity career outcomes and jobs. We'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes there. And then we'll dive deep into our Masters of Cybersecurity Information Assurance program. And then there's going to be a little bit of like, well, what about admissions, tuitions, how to apply, what if this isn't for me, all of that jazz. So about 5 minutes at the end. So I'm shooting for about 20 to 25 minutes. So keep me honest. Thank you for putting those in the chat. It looks like we have a good representation from various people. And let me give you a little bit of information about me. So my name is Jason Hammond. I'm faculty and lead academic program manager for our cybersecurity degrees. We have approximately 23,500 students in our degrees. BSCSA is huge. It's the biggest program in the United States by like 10x. And so I'm glad that you have a part of that. Before I came to WGU, I did my academic work at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. I'm actually a WGU alumni with an MBA, and then I've worked at Google and Pearson to come over here and be part of an administrative effort for doing curriculum and teaching cybersecurity. Also online, Mike, if you heard him, I think even his hand is up, which is interesting. Mike Morris is our Associate Dean and Academic Director. And I'm going to send it over to him to kind of explain a little bit about him, give himself an introduction, and we'll go from there.
Oh, thanks, Jason. I'll tell you why my hand's raised here in just a minute, but good afternoon, all. Thank you for joining us today. Jason's going to do a great job, give you a great presentation. I apologize. I'm going to be jumping here in just a minute, so I won't be able to stay long with you, but Jason will put out our contact information if you have any questions. Long story short, I've been in cybersecurity for over 40 years now, 25 with the FBI. doing cybercrime investigations, hunting hackers, and securing infrastructures. Then when Price Waterhouse did that for incident response global, and then went to Fortune 500, and then went to WGU. We built a strong program for professionals who want to move into leadership positions, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation today. The reason I raised my hand, Jason, is I just put it into the chat there. I may have put it in twice, so sorry if I did. I got an email today from one of our program mentors in the master's program who just heard from one of their graduates who graduated 58 days ago and got a job with a massive raise. And so I put that in the chat so you guys can see, but that literally came in today, about 2 hours ago. So I thought that was well timed. So with that, thank you again for attending. And my apologies that I can't stay to listen to it. And but you're in great hands. It's going to be a wonderful presentation. So thank you and goodbye all.
All right, thank you, Mike, and thank you for putting that in. That's really inspiring. I mean, we go straight to cybersecurity careers, so that's perfect transition. And just kind of like what is there, what's going on, and what we like to do is we like to use cyberseek.org. It's down in the corner here. This is kind of like our bread and butter for what does the cybersecurity job market look like. And I want to just highlight a couple things here. One is you should see this box, about 500,000 cybersecurity job openings. And then you'll see a map that's color coded to say, hey, what state do I live in? Well, there should be lots of job openings there, right? And on the left is kind of where those jobs are. And so our programs are aligned to the NICE framework, and we kind of, their cybersecurity is a whole system. So we have oversight and governance, implementation and operation, then people who actually design stuff, people who are in the protect and defend place, and then there's a whole apparatus around it. And so going into a cybersecurity job, there are lots of jobs because it's like it's a whole field, right? So depending on what your background is, what your former background is, what your current credential is, cybersecurity, there's something that tags into it. And so we're building a degree, not we're building, we have a degree to help you kind of navigate that and give you a little bit more prowess on your job search. We also like to share this. This is back in June, but we work with the DHS and NSA. We attend their conferences and are part of their associations. And this is Mark Gorak, Director of DoD Cyber Academic Engagement, and he says, there's 20,000 cyber professionals department-wide. So like even within the government, there's lots of things moving in the government, but 20,000 open positions is still a critical need for government and protecting the nation. So whether you go into the private sphere or into the government sphere, cyber is still in demand. So I just wanted to put up here our career outcomes where we think that you can go, right? So we had an example in the chat, but with the MSCSIA, what should we be able to do, right? And so the question is which company and where and what, right? And so you could see again in our chat that someone went to a hospital, right? There's a wide variety of critical infrastructure that you can go be part of. You can be part of retail. They have cybersecurity. Like there's a lot of compliance teams. But in particular, here's these 5 bullet points. And so things that you could do with an MSCSIA degree, right? Becoming a vulnerability analyst, penetration tester. So that's that attack and defense part of the program. Moving up into a higher level IT networking, cloud, as an individual contributor. So becoming an architect, becoming a lead, advancing your career, having that flag in the ground that says, hey, I'm investing in my professional development. We also have a part in our track that is for becoming high-level professional and managers. So sometimes that's a little bit higher role when you get into compliance and regulatory officers saying, are we protecting the information correctly? Are we following all the laws? And then you have a much higher purview to speak with executives and the various people in your business or organization. And then as far as where we'd like to reach to with the MSCSIA is in operational and strategic roles. So this is your CISA, any C-suite, Director of Technology, VP, and again, that's just going to depend on the size of your organization, how those are organized. And so with that, I want to, the main pitch is there are jobs out there, and getting more education is something that I believe in and that can be useful to you as you're looking into your career. So we'll move that now to, well, what is our master's degree? What's in it? How does it work, right? So this is the name of the degree. Fairly straightforward. If you're in BSCSIA, it looks very similar. And we created this degree with all kinds of input. We have a board of people that are employers from various aspects. They all comment on our curriculum. We align to the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, NSA, National Security Agency. We look at ISC2 and ISACA. The CISSP is a very well-known certification, so we kind of align to those standards to kind of give you, what is the breadth of the degree so that you can move it into however you want to use it. As a note, WGU is an NSA Center of Excellence school. That's one of the top 10% in the nation, or only 10% of schools who have cyber programs have an NSA CD, is what it's called, designation. And then our bachelor's degree is ABET accredited. So I'll be careful to point out the MSCSIA doesn't have those for various reasons, but it's more that when you're signaling with a BSCSIA, like that helps you get into a master's degree with an ABET accreditation. And then with our NSA Center of Excellence, like we're all the same team here. We're trying to work out, and we just we haven't gotten that one yet. So everything's a process. So in terms of topics of what's in here, this is just very high level. Tell your friends what's in the degree. Well, there's some network security, like we do some cyber defense, penetration testing, but a lot of it is that program development. So, all of the pieces of the security lifecycle. Maybe you're building software development. How do you do it securely? Maybe you're looking at the architecture underneath. Maybe you're looking at the governance angle. And then in particular, in the last few months, we're bringing in more artificial intelligence throughout the various domains within the courses. And so that's a big thing that we're working on to include. That's not just, use ChatGPT in a course or some kind of configuration, but actually how is AI influencing cybersecurity, and there's a lot going on. So in terms of like what will I take, we have like really boring but descriptive course names, right? And so you say, okay, well, how do I get started? Well, there's a foundations course. Okay, then what? Oh, network operations. How do we make that really secure? So there is a strong networking fundamental piece here. Then security operations is aligned to our CompTIA CYSA Plus, and that's all of the blue team on the defense side. Penetration testing is on the red side, with it being aligned to our CompTIA Pen Test Plus certification. And then we delve into, well, that's all well and good on your local network. What about cloud? And so we move over, and so the first 5 courses are somewhat technical in nature, right? And then we move to governance, risk, and compliance, which kind of takes that full view of how are we assessing all of our security infrastructure. And then another tack to software design. So now you're working with teams to say, how can we securely push out the code, design the code? What are all the pieces there? And then if you look at the last 3, that's kind of the full circle view. One would be, hey, I'm a security architect. And the other one is, well, now I'm managing all of the leaders. And so we wanted our degree then is half technical and half managerial. So I mentioned a couple certifications. Here are the ones. So you say, hey, I went to BSCSIA, I got 16 of them. Well, let's add in a couple more, right? And so if you recognize from the BSCSIA, we have the CYSA Plus. That again is that blue team. The CompTIA Pen Test Plus, which is the red team, the offensive. And then we have the CompTIA Security X, which is what builds into it, and that's your architecture certification. That's an optional voucher. It's not required, but we teach the material, and then you can go out and take the test. We also have the ISACA CISM as an optional voucher. That one's aligned to our management course, and that's going to give you kind of the full circle management perspective. And then that foundation course is the certified in cybersecurity. It's kind of a baseline. Let's make sure everything is going on well. So if you're in the course right now, this is a visualization of what we think happens in a course, which is you start the course, you look at the coursework, you go to the assessment, you take the assessment. If you pass, great, move to the next course. If you don't, go back, look at a couple things, fix it, go into the new course. So the master's degree then does follow our competency model. And I want to say this in particular, we do have a cyber range. We have labs in our courses. You can be able to practice it hands-on. While we do have, kind of a trifecta, we have certifications, we have labs, and then we do have that kind of like written work, because as you get into more managerial aspects, you're going to be doing a lot more writing and reporting and whatnot. And so we try to have a comprehensive version of the program. Okay, so now I've lined up two of my slides, which one on one side is the courses, one on the other side is the job roles, and this is my set of fun personality slides. So let's just do a quick look at what these are supposed to do. Okay, so vulnerability analysts, penetration testers. Well, security operations, CYSI Plus, and penetration testing, Pen Test Plus. So you have courses directly related to that role. Next one is, well, what if I have some kind of IT background, but I want to be a high-level contributor? Well, you could be a high-level contributor in network design and security, cloud security, or looking at the architecture course at the very end. That's where those three lead. Next, we have kind of the security professionals, managers, and this is where your governance, risk, and compliance, you start the paperwork a little bit. Maybe you manage a software team, secure software design, and then you do cybersecurity management. And then you kind of grow from there, right? So here's your compliance and regulatory officers in particular, and then architecture and management. We're trying to grow you from I can do a professional's job into, well, maybe I want to manage, maybe I want to do that more, and that's the scope of the degree. And there is my lovely thing if you want to take a screenshot. Okay, it makes total sense. Somebody scribbled on the slide. Wonderful. So one thing that is unique about this degree is if you have background with WGU, there is some advanced standing credit that you can get for the MSCIA. So again, if we look back, there's 10 courses on the left, right there, 1, 2, 3, 4 through 10. And what can happen is if you've taken some of these courses prior, you can get credit for up to 3 courses. So if you have the CompTIA Network Plus and Security Plus, that's one course. If you have the CYSA Plus, that's a different course. If you have the Pen Test Plus, that's another course. And so you can, that reduces your route to graduation by 3 courses. So then your 6-month term with 7 courses, that doesn't look too bad in terms of like, well, I just did 30 to 40 courses in the bachelor's degree. A master's degree is just more, right? But not too much more. If you're in one of the other degrees from the School of Technology, there's also a pathway. It might be just 2 courses credit in, so you'd have, 8. I'm doing math in public here. If you could have up to 2 transfer in, so then you would have 8 courses to earn the MSCSIA. So there's a little bit of a bridge here that you can take what you know and just keep building on it. And a lot of it is just, you have a rhythm with school, maybe you're working and you're going to school. Like this is just a little bit more to get you that further in your career, to signal to employers that you have a master's degree, to give you a couple more certifications, take you apart. Like maybe you've grown since coming into the bachelor's degree and you say, I want to go into this track or that track, a little bit better way to differentiate. All right, so that gives us what the program is, just some other important information. You say, okay, well, how do I get in? And here are the official admissions requirements. It says basically, do you have a bachelor's degree in STEM or technology? Then you're good. Or if you have a bachelor's degree plus some kind of IT certification, which if you've been following in our School of Technology, you're probably good. You don't have to take the GRE or GMAT to come in. So it's very much like if you're part of the program now, like you meet these and then you're going to be in. Also, just to show you what the total cost per term is. So this is just 6 months. So if you take 2 years to do it, that would be this number times 4, which is just under $20,000. But hey, we believe in acceleration, improving competency here. So really good chance that you'll be able to do it prior than a typical 2-year degree. All right, so I've showed you what the degree is. I said, hey, there's lots of options for jobs. There's lots of ways to kind of merge to those two jobs, and you say, maybe that's not quite it. What? Tell me just a little bit more about some stuff. And so I'm going to say, maybe you're not ready for the master's degree and you're just trying to land that first cybersecurity job. So at this point, I'm just going to put a link into the chat. And this is a pre-recorded video that we've had with our academic dean, and he interviews 4 or 5 people that are talking about how do I get my first job, right? And like we go to school and like it's a good time for a long time, and then at some point you're like, okay, I need to get a job, right? And how do I do this? And so getting your first job in cyber, there's, it's a unique sphere. There's how do you get your foot in the door? And let's just say that's outside of this particular conversation. But if you want to go and watch that on another time, or maybe even when we end, like that would be a place for you to go. And this is where I promised RJ to come on, where you can give a nice pitch too, RJ, about what happens in career service land.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. And a couple shout outs for this. I would say, one, if you are able to or you'd like to share your LinkedIn in the chat too and connect with each other. One thing that we did, this is going back, we usually host a cyber week where we focus on employers that are actively recruiting for cyber and different alumni that come back and cover topics. And we did a panel last year, and I found it unique. Every single one of those panelists who were WGU alums, their current role, they never applied for it. It was all through networking, and the opportunity opened up and people reached out to them. So that's one thing I would say, hey, take advantage of the opportunity to network with each other. I also love the example that Mike shared in the chat, just talking about, like, I think people get tunnel vision, especially when they go through our degree programs. Hey, I have to go work for this huge cyber organization or just specifically doing cyber. But seeing something like this where, there's so many opportunities, especially in the healthcare space for cyber opportunities. So that's one I would tell people, hey, keep an open mind to those. We here in Career, we have a ton of different resources. I would encourage people to check out our careers page. With that careers page, you have access to all of these resources 24/7. So it's a great opportunity to go in and utilize some of these. One great one that we just added, Job Scan, which will take your resume and a job description that you might be thinking about applying for, and it really, what it does is it matches those up, and it essentially it's in place to help with those applicant tracking systems. So hey, this might be an area where you haven't emphasized this skill set enough. So it really tries to help you with those blind spots, and really improve on that on your resume when you're going through and applying for these opportunities. So you have access to those. Big Interview is another one. Puts you through a mock interview, so that's always helpful. It's really hard to replicate a real life interview. So that's a great resource. And then our career advising team. So our career advising team, works one-on-one with students. They work in a workshop setting where they might cover a specific career topic. I would encourage people to check those out. My team specifically here in career is responsible for going out, connecting with employers, and bringing them in to present these opportunities to our students and alumni. So that's the essence of Career Quest is we're trying to get employers in that are interested in recruiting our students, but we also do more than just bring employers in. We try to promote out their opportunities as well. So I know sometimes people, our main way of communicating that out is through Handshake. I know some people see Handshake and they might roll their eyes. They're not always interested. You know, a lot of opportunities on Handshake are entry level, and I think that's because most of the time employers are used to working with these traditional brick and mortar universities where, you know, they're really only interested in those entry level type of roles. So that's something that we try to do a good job with employers and educate them on, hey, you know, our students are a little bit different. You know, they already have hands-on experience. They might be coming with a ton of these qualifications that you're seeking for these mid-level type roles, or maybe it is these entry-level positions. So that's something what I would say is we try to do a lot of targeted outreach with opportunities. So I would say check your emails. I know that's like I sound like a broken record. I know most people are encouraging those to check your emails, but some of those opportunities are specific. You're getting it because you meet the qualifications of a job of an employer that's actively trying to recruit our students. So that's something I would say. Hey, like take the opportunity, check out our careers page. I know I shared that in the chat, and what I would say is, if I did I share it? Yes, I did share it already. You know, take advantage of these opportunities and services. I'll be honest, most schools cut off alumni after the 6 month or year mark. So you have access for this for life. So 10 years from now, if you're job searching, you can access these resources. So that's something I would just say, keep in mind, utilize the network that we have here at WGU, and utilize the resources that are there available for you. And I'll kick it back over to you, Jason.
Awesome. Thank you so much, RJ. So,
Yeah.
so all of the content that RJ just, spoke to us about, like life is complicated, right? Like finding a job, like making more decisions to go to school, like finding something around you, picking a career, like it's not very straightforward. And so, what I don't want to do in this particular session is just say, you have to get a master's degree, right? Like what I want to point you to is like there is support for you to go where you need to go and to help you figure out what you need to do, right? And so like all of you at the moment are just, we're cruising through school, we're trying to do it, like juggling all the things. Maybe you have kids at home, like there's a lot to do, and we want to share that we have resources for you to help you get to where you need to go. So I started this little section to say, you know, basically what are my other options, right? There's options, right? And this one is you're putting together the time to explore those options. So again, all the things that RJ said, keep getting connected into career services. That's going to work well for you. We also have the WGU Cyber Club, which I think I deleted my slide in here. But if you're not part of that club, there are 9,000 students in that club, and there's a Cyber Alumni Club with 6,000 alumni in there. And there's a lot of great stuff that happens in the Cyber Club, and a lot of it is really good networking. There's a lot of good practice. There's a lot of like self-organized labs and cybersecurity capture the flag competitions. Like it's also a great resource for you just to kind of get connected into association. The other thing is I guess we do have other master's degrees. I'm here to pitch MSCSIA, our Cybersecurity Information Assurance, but like we've been on a tear for a little while here to get some other options out there. And I'm not going to go into them in depth, excuse me, but I want you to know that they exist, right? Most recently, computer science and software engineering. So computer science, and then there's 3 tracks. Everything in parentheses here is computing systems, AI, and human-centered human-computer interaction is HCI. Software engineering, design-driven domain is the first one. AI engineering and DevOps, and just, what's the difference between the cyber degree and these ones? Well, in the other ones, you code a whole lot more. Like, you do programming a whole lot more. And so, like, that's why I'm like, hey, maybe you have a background in that and you want to go that way, worth looking into, right? Data analytics is also has a pretty strong programming background, but then you're more in the data aspects of it. And then we do have the MS IT management and the MBA IT management. I think I might have messed up on one of those names there. But there's some confusing things about that. We do have some pages on what the difference is, and a lot of it is more other things than cyber. But like, I'd like to think that ours is pretty direct, right? Like, if you're in cyber right now and you keep going with it, you're just going to keep picking up those certifications and becoming more capable at your job. If you want to branch out for a while, absolutely, that makes sense too. We have some other options for you at WGU, but I'll just tell you today that I have an opinion about which one is best, and I feel really proud about our program here. So, just just keeping it light there. Just be sure to look at ours first, okay? How to apply? Well, one day you'll be seeing this, and it's the confetti screen, right? And it's a wonderful day. If you go check out Reddit, like, it's all over the place. I love seeing these pictures. If you notice, this one's mine. I'm an alumni too. Well, we're really sneaky and we say, hey, you just did this really hard thing for multiple years. Thank you for spending time with us. Thanks for spending energy with us. And by the way, if we can convince you, please keep going, right? And that's how you apply, is the apply today button within the student portal. And if you have more questions, like, our enrollment counselors can also help you get to the right place. Your program mentor can help you get to the right place. But we try to make this as seamless as possible, that you are celebrating your achievement, but there's opportunity, and maybe now that you really like education, you'll just keep going. And that's obviously what I did. So we like to just end here with your key success. A lot of it's planning, a lot of it's discovery, and then it takes a lot of time, right? But on our side, we have mentors, we have instructors, we have the competency-based model, we have RJ over here in career services. Reach out to us. We want to help you meet your life's goals. And then, a master's degree, surprisingly affordable from WGU. So with that, the program page of our master's degree is wgu.edu/mscsia. Obviously, that'll just take you there, and you can kind of like review that. You can look at the course descriptions and whatnot. But that's the main page for the rest of this information. And if you have more questions, you can always talk with your mentor that's been helping you. Here's my email address. I'm just going to go ahead and put Mike's in there too. I know that there was some connection. And with that, I think that's where we're at, RJ. So hopefully we have some time for just some more questions. I was trying to look through the chat. I did want to congratulate Dwan, I think, who just graduated with an MBA in IT management. Congratulations. And did you see any questions, RJ, that kind of came through?
There were a couple, and I'm going to apologize to everybody now. I am not an IT person, so if I butcher any of these, I'm going to apologize. But one of the questions, what would a priority level of sequence to follow for somebody who is Sec Plus CE and
Yeah.
CEH certified?
Yeah, so Security Plus is a CompTIA cert, and
Yep.
CEH is Certified Ethical Hacker. And I'm just going to go back up into my screen here and just go back up to the course list, right? And say that will do right there. So your Security Plus is going to be really close to your Security Foundations, right? So you're going to be right in line at like the starting point. Your CEH will help you for penetration testing, but it kind of goes off into a little bit different direction, but it's great foundations for penetration testing. And so I think, is that Dwan with IT management? Oh, great. Dwan, congratulations. You drank the Kool-Aid. you'd be right in line for starting this degree and being into it, right? The gap at the moment, depending on what your background would be filled here in the second course with a secure networking design, just because we have that really strong basis of networking. All right, what's next, RJ?
Next one, if a student enrolls in the degree program while it isn't yet, what is it, ABET accredited, but then later it does become accredited, does that mean the degree the student graduates in has the accreditation, even though it wasn't when they started?
The technical question, that's ABET, that's one of our accreditations.
Got it.
That's Association of Engineering and Technology. And we recently got ABET accredited with BSCSIA, and it was retroactive like a year prior. And so everyone who kind of hits that point on when it is, then yes, it would be ABET accredited. So the theoretical question is, if one does get ABET accredited, does it go back in time a little bit? And the answer is yes.
Awesome. Uh, I don't see any other questions right now, so I'll give people a second to post those in if they do. Just a reminder, the session is being recorded. So if you do want to go back and reference anything that Jason covered, I know there was the one chart where he had all the arrows pointed. I think that'll be a key one for people to go back and reference. But that recording will be sent out tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Just wanted to remind everybody. Next question that came in, how to join the Cyber Club.
I just put into the chat a link to the page there. There is, like, the Cyber Club is a bigger club, but you don't just have to be a cybersecurity student to be in it. So there is a BSCNE area of the Cyber Club. It's all in Discord, and there's ways to join it there, but the main point of truth is what I just put into the chat. So.
And I know a lot of the events that they end up hosting where they might bring an industry professional in. We try to promote that out as well. So that again, like through Handshake, we try to send that out to people. So keep an eye out for that. I know that's something that I don't think enough people take advantage of those opportunities, especially when they're bringing in industry professionals. It's a great opportunity to just gain that insight. But again, like I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but jumping into that and making connections with people and you never know like what opportunities might present themselves moving forward. It is really trying to expand that professional network of yours. And again, another great opportunity to connect with individuals that have similar interests, they have similar career interests. You never know, like it might lead to a future opportunity just based off of connecting with somebody in one of those types of events. So certainly take advantage of that.
Yeah, thank you. There's one more question. It's a technical question. It has to do with our NSA CAE designation. So WGU is a CAE CD cyber defense school. That's based off of our bachelor's degree on where that program of study is designated. So I mean, it's kind of like a technical thing, right? It's like you have the school is designated, and then you have programs underneath it. So MSCSIA does not have that designation like in their chart, but like on the other side, the school has it, and we're all the same people here. So we're building into that and pursuing the opportunity to fill out all the paperwork and meet the standards and get it validated. So at this point, MSCSIA does not have the POS program of study designation. I'm just right in the middle of it right now, so it's fresh in my brain. But our school is. So hey, RJ, there's a person asking about internships.
Yeah, great question. We nothing formal in terms of like there's certainly a ton of different internship opportunities. So when we're chatting with employers to try to get them to come in, it's usually a question that we're asking, hey, do you have a formal internship program. So we'll send those opportunities out. So that's constantly something that we're chatting with employers on is identifying what type of opportunities and then getting those opportunities to our students. So I know there's great opportunities. We've done some stuff with micro internships. So if you don't have a ton of experience, like that's a great one to maybe take a look at and gaining some more hands-on experience in that sense. But also checking out some different internship opportunities. I know somebody had just reached out to us asking like, hey, what's a company that you know is actively recruiting? Somebody that we've worked pretty closely, CrowdStrike is one. They have a great internship program. I know that they've recruited a ton from WGU and hired from WGU, so that's a great way. I'd also say checking out and seeing where some of our alumni are currently working, and taking a look at where have they done internships. I think that's a great resource to kind of get a sense of, all right, what direction should maybe I go, or maybe you have an idea of, hey, this is where I foresee myself moving into in the future in my career. Take a look and see what opportunities or pathways people have taken, because it just might make your direction a little bit easier in figuring out what people have done previously. So that's something I would certainly recommend, Colton, is taking a look and seeing where some people have done some internship opportunities previously. You can do that. LinkedIn is obviously a great resource. Taking a look there. But we that's something that's standard when we're having a conversation with an employer is, what type of full-time opportunities, what type of internship opportunities do you have, and then promoting that out from there. We do have coming up next week, we have an internship expo that I don't know if there's any specific to cyber that are going to be participating in that, but that's an event where it's just for internship opportunities. So it's a great way to connect directly with individuals recruiting for their internship programs. So that'll be next week, and you can find that right on our Career Quest page. So I will pull that up now. And then, Jason, I don't know if you have any insight as far as any specific internship programs that you're aware of that students have gone through.
Yeah, so right now we're in pilot phases with a partner called Ripen, where we're trying to put together 6 to 8 week micro internships. That's in particular to the BSCSIA program, and we're trying to grow that, right? And so the answer isn't, well, yeah, I have one. Do you want to sign up, right? The answer is, man, we have lots of students and lots of students want lots of internships. And as a national university, that's like a really hard problem to work on. And we are working on it, right? And so the mere fact that everyone's here and asking about it, like you're going to be the ones that find the internships, right? Because you're looking. And so RJ, you have the best kind of like broader view. And then in the BSCSIA program in particular, there is that other option that we are trying to stand up. Braden, when will we hear back from the internships? I believe that they're like right in the end of their cycle for hearing back. So I don't have a specific date. That's another person. So sorry, I can't answer that one just at the moment. So and look, we have a testimonial. Jose, thank you. I'm gonna copy and paste that. Thank you so much. I always like to hear that the things that we're doing, people like them.
And even if it's not with Ripen, I know that there are other opportunities for those micro internships. I think, especially with how most people are working while they're attending school here at WGU, it's not a huge time commitment. So that's something I would say definitely think about taking advantage of. Are those micro internships if you can, just to gain more experience as you go along in the program. And I think as you move forward and you earn the different certifications that you're getting as you go through our curriculum, the more marketable that makes you as you kind of move forward. So, but Jose, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm gonna have to give Addison a nice shout out. I saw Celeste was on here, but we'll make sure Addison sees that as well.
Yeah, so again, like where you're kind of in the system, like, WGU does some things really, really well, and maybe WGU, hopefully we're improving on the things that we don't do so well. But like the pitch here is like, here's another opportunity. Like, it's an add-on. You are in the system, you're working through it. Here's the support. You're in a good rhythm. Like, a master's degree can shine on your resume. More certifications can shine on your resume and help you get to where you need to go. And so, my final pitch again is not just like, oh my gosh, we're desperate, we need students. It's more like, please, we're a good option, and we want to keep supporting you on your career goals. So, hopefully you look at us and say, yeah, I'll look into that and maybe apply. So it's been great for lots of people. That's me, RJ. I almost called you Jose because I've been so excited about what Jose just said. So RJ, that's me. And uh, anything else that we can do for everyone on the call here?
We'll give people a second to post those. Just a reminder, session is recorded. I know I've said that multiple times, just in case if people have jumped in late, want to make sure you're able to see that. Jamie, I would say there's a few different places. I know on our career site, there's different, if you go in there, that's a great place to check out. I know that there's specific website links for internship opportunities there. Handshake is something I will continue to push. So there are opportunities on Handshake. I think the last time I looked at it, there was like a few hundred different cyber internships available through Handshake. So that's something I would tell you to definitely, half the battle sometimes is just searching for the right thing. And I would tell you, like, use a few different keywords when you're going through and searching for those internship opportunities. So that's a site I would tell you definitely take advantage of. And then your more traditional job sites. But I know there are specific job boards on our website geared towards cyber. So I would definitely take a look at that. Awesome. All right. With that, I think we will wrap up. Jason, I want to give you the opportunity. Any closing remarks? Anything specific that you want to hit on as we kind of wrap up here?
Yeah, again, I think I said it, just like, we're here to support you. Like, we'll give you extra information. If you have questions, please reach out. That's how you get questions answered, is by asking them. And let's help you get you to where you need to go. I think that our cyber program is well built. It does a lot of good things for a lot of people, and it's a great opportunity. So, thanks for being at our school and just believing in us to do that. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason, for jumping in and providing all the information. And thanks for everybody for jumping in today. Certainly keep an eye out for future opportunities like this and opportunities that we have with employers. But thank you all for joining, and have a fantastic rest of the week. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.